Battle of the Bugs. This time it's the mealy kind. I'll share tips on how to spot them and how to eliminate them. Plus, new plants and new growth. It's more than just sunshine making these babies balloon in size. In designing with Anthurium, here's a look at what I ended up creating. How I turned this corner of my urban jungle into a tropical reading nook. Okay, so here's the thing. Remember a couple... before I get to that, have you guys looked out the window? Look at that Rocky Mountain sunset. I am so sorry for interrupting, but you just have to see how beautiful our Denver, Colorado sunsets have been over the Rocky Mountains these last couple of weeks. Now that we're into summer, I mean, it just looks like fireworks in the sky. It melts my heart every single time, unlike these plants that just cause me stress. And that is what we are talking about today, because what I was trying to say in the beginning was, you remember like a couple of months ago when I did that video about wanting to turn my giant Philodendron patriciae into a bromeliad and orchid tree, and I thought it was the coolest idea ever? Well, I regret doing that because the thing ended up becoming 20 feet tall. My ceilings are 22 feet. It just got unmanageable. So what I ended up doing was this was, gosh, just yesterday. I needed to do something about it. I mean, a 20-foot plant that was just skyrocketing. I ended up chopping it up, at least more than half of it. I mean, 6 feet of it I still kept and everything, but I got some really nice propagation cuttings out of it that I have put into water. So I'm excited to turn them into new plants, whether or not I'll keep them or give them to friends. You know how that whole thing goes. But yeah, I really needed to cut it down because it was just unmanageable. And it was over here in this corner, which you might think to yourself, well, this is just a corner cabin. There's nothing special about it, but there is something special about it. You see, I work from home remotely all the time, nonstop. That's, full-time remote, work from home. And my computer and where I sit is right behind the camera, and so it faces this way. And so I normally wouldn't make a big deal out of this, but when we did like a little Teams thing over work, talking about like who has the best backdrop, it was me. It was me because of all these beautiful plants. And so I need to create something over here that'll be better than having the beautiful Philodendron patriciae / bromeliad orchid tree. But like I said, I did get some really cool, nice cuttings out of them. And look at how long these leaves ended up being. I mean, those are some beautiful cuttings. And so another reason why I decided to cut it up was because what did I find on one of the leaves? A mealybug. That's right. And there weren't a whole lot of them. It was just like one or two, but it made me wary of wanting to keep it around because just in case, like, they're kind of like hidden in the cocoa coir mesh that was wrapped around it. I didn't want to deal with that. Mealybugs, in fact, I found one on one of my Hoyas. They love Hoyas for whatever reason. But take a look. This is what a mealybug is. It just looks like a little piece of cotton. And mealybugs are little insects that are sapsuckers. Now, they love to feast on indoor houseplants, and what they do is, they look like a little piece of cotton that just sits there, and they just suck out the sap of the plant. I've never seen one move. You don't see them move at all, and so what you do to destroy them and kill them, and it's really kind of torturous for them, is you just take a cotton swab, and you dip it into rubbing alcohol, and then you just touch the mealybug, and all of a sudden it just like melts. I mean, you can see what would be considered, I guess, like the mealybug's blood, which sounds disgusting, but when you are attacking my plants and you are a pest, I want your death, pest, to be painful and just awful. I want it to spread a word to any other pests that might be around to not mess with my plants, because I will take a Q-tip, dip it in alcohol, and I will touch you with it, for a human. wouldn't really matter unless you had a cut, because then that would kind of sting a little bit, you know? So anyways, I get off topic a lot, if you haven't noticed. But what we're going to do is we're going to create something over here, and I'm not sure yet actually exactly what it's going to be, but I did want to move out a chair, a seat that I had in my bedroom because I just didn't have enough space for it, and it looks just like the seat over there. Anyways, let's switch up the angle. And the angle has been switched. Literally just move the camera like a foot and a half over to the side. Whoa, made such a big difference. Okay, so already I messed up because this is too large to go in there. So I'm going to move this back into my room, but I have this random piece of plant stand, you know, because who doesn't have a random piece of plant stand that they normally just, you know, have sitting around in their bedroom? And I had like a light on it, but I think this will actually work perfectly. And so what we're going to do, my good friends, my dear friends, is we're going to use this. And so I'm going to take this. Basically, I just needed something to kind of have something to hold up this plant stand here, because I want to have like a something like kind of like a tree, but not, if that makes any sense. You know, I wanted layering basically is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so now we're going to take this little baby, just had this beautiful, this Anthurium crystallinum just had this little lovely leaf pop out, and I just repotted it because it needed more space. My plants have been growing like crazy this summer. I'm curious to know, have your plants been growing like crazy too? Leave it in the comments, because I always check your guys' comments, and I'm just curious to know. Might have been like growing insane. It's hard to kind of keep up. I've had to repot so many of my plants so far this summer, and quite frankly, I want it to stop. Let me just clear this off really quickly. And I'm curious to know, like, also in the comments, have you guys got any new plants this summer? And if so, which plants have you added to your collection? I honestly, surprisingly, have not got any new plants this summer. Actually, that's not true. I apologize. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry for saying that. I did get one plant, and where is it? Oh, it's in the kitchen. Hold on, just 1 second. And I'm back, and this is the plant that I bought this summer, and it is called an Anthurium Heart's Desire. I believe it's like a hybrid of a silver blush, silver blush, and an Anthurium clarinervium. So, anyways, got it at Home Depot. It's this very unique, fancy place, the Home Depot, I believe is how it's pronounced. It was only like 18 bucks. And so I just got done watering it. Like I was saying, it's watering day. So, and it shot out these two new leaves since I got it. And I got it like a month and a half ago. And it wasn't in really great shape when I first got it. I think this leaf and this leaf were the nicest ones. But it's doing really well. And it's rather quite lovely, just like the other Anthurium. That gives me an idea, actually. What if we took and we put a bunch of Anthurium behind there? Because up there is one of my Soltech Solution grow lights, and we could have that produce the light. Because I did have some Anthurium over here, and they tend to love it because there's also a humidifier over there. So I think you guys have the best ideas, you know. What would I do without you guys, you know? I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, this little baby here. Oh, there was one other plant that I got, and super sweet guy, Nick from Flora Foundry, which is located here in Denver. He grows the most beautiful tropical, exotic, rare plants, and he gave me a Monstera elbow. It's a little baby one, about 6 to 8 inches, and it just grew its first new leaf. And I'm so excited, and it's been doing well, and I'm excited for it to put out its next leaf because it's been getting some really bright, direct, indirect sunlight from my western-facing windows, and so I'm pumped to see that baby shoot out like a half moon leaf that's white. Not to get off topic, but while we're talking about Monstera, take a look at the huge new leaf that my Monstera Thai constellation that I got back in December just popped out. That leaf is massive, balloon size, 18 and a half inches long, and I don't know what its width is. I didn't measure that, but anyways, those are some of my plants that have been growing like crazy. I did repot this baby, but Anthurium, if you really want them to grow like massive leaves, like my King Anthurium over yonder, they need space. You know how like Monstera and Philodendron are like, hey, we like being root bound and this and that. Anthurium, to get those big leaves, they need space. I mean, if you look at an anthurium's roots, those roots are big and thick. And so, yeah, they need space. And also giving them fish poop, fish fertilizer. I use Alaska Fish Fertilizer 511. That makes leaves, foliage ballooning size like crazy. And I actually use a little bit of fish fertilizer in my waterings year round. Just like a little bit of it, you know. It doesn't really smell, so that's nice. Anyway, I keep on getting off topic. This is so now that we have that back there, back on topic, Kevin. We're gonna put this, I believe, right now. There we go. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Put that up against there, like so. I do want to give it some room though, because some of those pots are going to probably be a little bit wider. We're going to start to put the Anthurium over hither. By the way, if you're not too familiar with Anthurium, you can look at them like this feller here. This is the Anthurium clarinervium, but notice how it sort of looks similar to the crystallinum, right? Like if you're not familiar with plants and you look at these two, you think that, hey, these are the same exact plant. But yes, they are the same genus, but they're different species. And if you are looking to get into these beautiful heart-shaped leaf, green Anthurium with that beautiful silver veining, the easiest one is to go with the Clarinervium, because this one, the crystallinum, is such a pain. Like it needs constant humidity, constant watering, and if it doesn't, it will brown up just like so. Whereas this guy is just like the Clarinervium is just like regular houseplant. It's like I'm not gonna be picky like this, like my cousin over here. We all know how my cousin is, and no. So back to this, and it's fine like that. So the Clarinervium up there. Here's the thing too, is that I have a Anthurium magnificum, and it's one of the oldest plants that I've had. I think I've had it for like 5 years, and I've put this baby through so much neglect. And I tell you what, when I first got this plant like 5 years ago, I didn't know how to care for it, and so I'm just like the heck with it. I'm literally going to put it underneath a shelf in my bedroom, and I'm not going to water it. And I didn't, and all of a sudden the thing just started growing leaves again. But it's been doing better. But I just repotted it, so I think it's gonna be a moment before it starts pumping out new leaves. This leaf right here was doing super duper well, but I messed up, guys. I decided that I was going to clean its leaves off by using like a scrubbing pad, like one of those ones that has like really thick bristles on the side. And I scraped it up, and I feel so bad. But it looks just like the crystallinum and the clarinervium, right? But it's not. This one's easier to take care of than the crystallinum, but not as easy as the clarinervium, that's for sure. So I'm thinking, yeah, this will be good. It'll be better than having the clarinervium up there, but the question is there going to be enough room, or do I need to widen this? Oh, that looks quite lovely. So now the question is, do I also include the Anthurium Heart's Desire over here? But if I do, oh, I could use this as a stand to prop it up, because I want to make sure that people are able to see it in the shot, and those who just come into my apartment here, even though I never let people into my apartment. I am very protective over my plants' energy, and I don't know what other people's energy is like. And quite frankly, I also just don't really care for people. That's what I was trying to say until my camera decided to shut off. It said because I ran out of space on my phone, but I think that it just knew I was going on for too long. But anyways, here's a look at what I ended up creating. I ended up moving a lot of the Anthurium around until I really kind of figured out exactly what I wanted to do. Then, of course, I decided to put up a nice hanging Philodendron Brazil up above to kind of cascade over everything. But I've got to say, I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. And I also added this bromeliad over here because I think it matches with this purple cover that I got for this seat over here. I've had it for a couple of years, actually. I've just never really used it. But yeah, this is going to be a nice little addition to the living room overall and just my urban jungle in general. I absolutely love adding color to so much beautiful green, especially when there is the silver lineage that goes through plants like Anthurium. They're absolutely stunning. Thanks again, guys, for watching another one of my videos, my plenty videos, and sticking through all my nonsense. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can see more fun and interesting planting content just like this. I'll see you guys in the next video.